What are you guys doing?
We're looking at this book and it's all the reptiles that we're going to see at Central Australia.
Tomorrow we're leaving cold, wet and windy Victoria and embarking on an adventure to the reptile capital of the world.
Central Australia! And here it is!
Woo! Reptiles, here we come, the rock holidays.
That looks like the Mandalorian ship.
And we were off, looking down at the highly populated suburbs below us and heading north to the vast, isolated, remote sandy deserts of Central Australia. And the top of our species list to find in the wild out here is the thorny devil. Ready to go driving?
Selling in our new car. Local trips, local folks, local dislocated.
We've made it to the centre of Australia, the red centre, Uluru behind us here. We're about to head out to Katajuda and check it out and go for a bit of a wander and see what we can find. Woohoo! Luca did ask if there was a water park here. So, what do you think, Luca? Yeah, well, there ain't no water park here, mate. I'm standing here in Anangu country with Katajuda behind me, and you cannot help but feel in complete awe when you're standing in this landscape. Ancient rock formations, pristine wild desert wilderness, and we're really excited to hopefully find some animals that have uniquely adapted to this environment and call this place home. So let's see what we find. Central Australia, just an example, got my little temperature gun here. I mean, I come over onto the sand. It's not a hot day here at the moment, not really hot at all. The sand is 29. We hit the road with it. 32. That's much better for reptiles. So potentially as the sun drops, the road stays hot, we might have reptiles coming out onto the road this evening. But for now, we're just going to go for a hike and see what we find. One thing I'm remembering very quickly about this place are the flies. First bit of wildlife we've come across. God. Lizard food. What do you think, Shah, about the flies? Not impressed. Oh, these flies. What have you found, Jack?
That little tadpole, he was growing into a frog.
He's a little metamorph.
I don't think this water's good for him.
Something's going on with the water here. It's probably just low oxygen from not enough flow, I'd think. But I'm not sure. You climbing up there, Luca?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It could take you a while.
How many days?
Look at that.
I'm nearly there. Me too.
I don't think so, mate. We're here in the Olgas, and when you get up close to the rock, the geology of the place is pretty spectacular. All these smaller rocks that have been rounded off by what would you say, water action, I guess. They're sort of like river pebbles, and it's a sign of, I guess, how this rock came to be, and once under a giant inland sea. That rhymed. We're up early this morning, we've had our breakfast. Now we're walking back to our room. We're gonna head to the rock to pick up some bikes. And what are we getting, Jacques?
We're getting psyched!
Psyched! Psyched in Central Australia!
Psyched!
We hear a lot about the damaging impact invasive species have on our flora and fauna here in Australia. In fact, we have the worst mammal extinction record of any country in the world due to the cat and the fox devastating the smaller mammal species. But in fact, plants, weeds are having a huge impact on our landscape, such as buffel grass. All around the base of Uluru here, you can see the buffel grass is changing the landscape. A once open, sandy, duned environment is now becoming overrun with this introduced pasture grass. And basically it's making it hard for animals to move around, and it's been proven to be one of the most difficult invasive species to deal with in the current times, buffel grass.
While this affects many native species, one in particular is the little thorny devil that we're really hoping to see, and other small reptiles that need open sandy areas to bask, to move around and find food.
I'm gonna stand on this, mate.
And while we were taking in the amazing rock formations, I managed to score a giant rock tube. And the boys found some more tadpoles. While you may not expect to see tadpoles in the desert, the rock acts as like an oasis, collecting water that runs down, forming these pools at the base, creating micro-habitats that many different species can utilise. The boys also found this Australian hornet marching around the trail, and while he looks gnarly, he's largely harmless.
Well, we've seen our second reptile. Unfortunately, it's actually deceased. It's been run over on the road. This is a little netted dragon, central netted dragon, ooh, a bit graphic. We had a game going where we all picked a reptile that we'd see first. Madeline's reptile
I chose Thorny Devil.
was the netted.
Dragon.
Jacques was Thorny Devil, mine was Sand Goanna. And what was yours, Luca?
Skink.
A skink, so he had a very good chance, and he actually did win because we did see a skink first, but we saw a little stenotus skink, but sadly the netted dragon. I don't know if that counts, Mads, the netted dragon.
I think it does.
You think it does? Oh, poor little fella. Watch out on the roads, especially out here. The animals do come out into the roads because they're warm, so great place to bask, but that one wasn't so lucky.
We moved the little fella off the road, but unfortunately this is the fate of many reptiles out here.
Me and Jacques have got our fly nets on, and we're not, while we might not be very stylish, we're in complete bliss, free of flies. These things are awesome. And we're just at the back of the supermarket at the moment. Madeline and Luca are getting some lunch, some supplies. So we thought we'd have a quick look around because at the back here is really good habitat. There's no buffel grass here. So I'm hoping with the soft spinifexes and open sandy areas, we may find a thorny devil. Ooh.
And guess what we found? Dingo footprints.
Yep. Dingo footprints for sure. What have you found there, Jacques?
Oh, just a little paddy melon. We've been walking around and also looking for fawnies. We haven't just seen one yet, but we've seen tracks. We've seen dingo tracks, and we've also seen ants, which is a good sign.
Because what is the
And we've also seen a wasp, which
why-
is right there.
Yeah, why are ants a good sign?
Because they like eating the teeny tiny ones
Who does?
of thornies.
What else do they eat?
They also eat other bugs.
No, they don't.
What?
They only eat ants, Thornies. Only ants.
Oh.
And only a species of
I know what
tiny
dingoes
ant.
eat.
After searching all day, we had no luck, no thorny devils, but we're not giving up.
Do I have a beard?
Got some sand on your face, mate.
Okay.
Once the sun went down, we headed out on the road to see what nocturnal animals we could find, and we came across this recently run over ringed brown snake that the boys are a bit confused about.
A king brown snake. And it's a deadly one, but it's dead. It got run over.
And it's a baby, isn't it?
That's one of the first ones we've seen so far.
Kind of cute, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And he's got it on my hand.
Oh, yuck. Well, he's only fresh, so let's put him outside, wash our hands.
All right.
We were also lucky to find our first live snake, this non-venomous Stimson's python that we got a quick family photo with as I picked it up to move it off the road. Once the boys were in bed after a massive day, I thought I'd head out for a bit of spotlighting. And interestingly, on every light there was action. This giant grasshopper, or katydid, was feasting on something. And if we get up close to the light, you'll see a gecko.
Who has made himself a resident on this light. Pretty smart move because of all the food that comes to him. Little nighttime buffet of moths.
A new day brings new possibilities, and we're back out on the hunt for the elusive thorny devil.
Have a look. Look at all these tracks. The dunes here at night time come alive with animals. Little hopping marsupials, leaving tracks all across the sand, little beetles and bugs, even goanna tracks. That's what we're looking for. Love to show Jacques some goanna tracks. Me and Jacques have found some goanna tracks just here. You can tell they're goanna tracks because of the little feet firstly. That's a very clear goanna footprint, but also the tail. These lines are the tail that drags behind. So we've travelled nearly 2,000 kilometres from Torquay, Victoria to Central Australia to go on an adventure and stop on the side of the road and look under rubbish. Yes, you beauty, that's a holiday. Because we saw an old pile of rubbish, an old caravan that's been blown to bits. Thought I'd check underneath it to see what we find. As I'm walking around, would you believe it? A little Moloch horridus, the thorny devil. I don't know if you can see him. He's so tiny. He's just a little baby one right there. We'll get up close and we'll have a closer look at him.
What an incredibly cryptic little creature. From its body covered in spines to its perfect camouflage and even the way it moves to confuse predators. No wonder it took us so long to find one.
This is a thorny devil, what we've been looking for. And can I tell you a fact about them? So, you know what they do? They soak up all the they soak up all the water from the sand because I know it's real dry, but it's got moisturizer in it. So he sucks it all up and then it goes onto his nose and then he drinks it. Is that cool? And also one of the other ones is they bury their heads under and see that little lump on the back? They stick it up and bury their heads under the sand, and predators think that it is a dangerous, real dangerous animal, and that's why they're amazing.
They are amazing, mate. Well done.
Getting to spend some time with this animal in the wild is an absolute buzz. What an exquisite little dragon. Oh, did you see him just slurp up that ant? That's gonna look awesome in slow-mo.
This is my third trip to Central Australia and the first time I've ever seen a wild Moloch horridus, the thorny devil. One of Australia's most iconic reptiles, probably Central Australia's most iconic animal. So amazingly adapted to life in this harsh desert environment. We did it! We found one! High five me! You! Ha! We're going to the next pile of rubbish. Woo! We'll never get to Alice Springs at this rate.
We were off to Alice Springs to check out some of the wildlife parks and learn more about the thorny devil and the other animals that live in this amazing landscape.
We're out here in the outback. I just noticed a thorny devil. Oh.
I found a big snake.
What sort of snake is that?
Death adder.
It's not a death adder.
What is it?
It's a bredeli carpet python.
And you know what? It's really dangerous.
Geez, Jark, haven't I taught you anything? You're not supposed to disturb the wildlife.
Oh, this is wildlife.
All right, off to see the real thing in action. Here at the Alice Springs Desert Park, the thorny devils are kept in the reptile house, and we learn a lot watching this animal in captivity. We learned they're very difficult to keep in captivity because of their diet, only eating one species of small ant the staff have to collect from the park to make sure they've got enough food to eat. We were also really lucky to get behind the scenes with one of the zookeepers that was doing a weekly health check on one of the thorny devils, where they record their weight to help monitor their growth and make sure they're getting enough of those little ants into their tummies. We also learned that they have a very specific list of requirements when keeping them in captivity, emulating the thorny devil's natural habitat. As Jacques talked about earlier, they have a very unique way of drinking, absorbing moisture up their legs using what's called a capillary action. And this little thorny's about to get his drinking bath.
So it takes a little while, but you can usually see it travelling up their legs and along their body. And then you can eventually see it moving towards the mouth, and she'll either start opening her mouth and lapping, or she'll just swallow.
What a great experience to learn from the zookeepers. We said goodbye to our friends at the Alice Springs Desert Park and on to the next place, the Alice Springs Reptile Centre.
What's this over here? What's that? Oh, that's a little spiny tail.
Guess the only gecko that I really wanted to see in the wild, but we didn't see it on the strip, but we've seen it now. They're one of the biggest geckos in Australia, and they got the powerful jaws of all geckos. And see that little knob tail? They move it around, and then like little toad hoppers come over to it and think it's food. Or ants come over to it and it flips around and bites it.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
Go.
This is a legless lizard inside this enclosure, and it looks like a poisonous snake, but it's not. It scares away predators. It tries to be a poisonous snake.
That's right, the Delma. Looks like a baby brown snake, but it's not.
And we don't know where it is.
No, we can't see it. It's in there somewhere.
But it's really good.
Look under the log. Do you know what that is?
Little brown snake.
Brown snake.
And it's so epic.
What's that one there? You should know what that is.
Oh, definitely.
No.
There's one here too.
Wait, I know what it is.
What is it?
The one that we saw on the road.
Yeah, what's that one?
It's a Stimson's python.
Yeah, that's it. Look at it in
He
there.
wasn't dead.
At the Alice Springs Reptile Centre, they keep their thorny devils outside, which is really cool to see. Oh, what's that?
Double crocodile. Oh, I don't like that.
What's that crocodile's name, Luca?
Terry. He's a cool croc.
Terrible Terry.
And one time, this person dared him to climb over, and he did it, and then he got bitten, but he went kicked out.
Yeah, you get kicked out. You want to jump in there?
No.
I wouldn't want to jump in there with Terry. That's crazy stuff.
I found a thorny. Look,
Oh, right here at the Reptile Centre.
Dad, it's not a real one.
Ah, you got it.
And I found a kid brown snake.
Oh.
Real one. A baby.
Gee, he looks dangerous.
Ah. We've left the sandy country and we're heading out into the McDonald's Ranger group that's surrounding us right now. We've come through Alice Springs, changed our vehicle to a camper van. Not the most comfortable night's sleep with two boys, but hey, we're doing it. Well, I've left the kids and Madeline down by the waterhole and I've headed up for this little loop through the gorge. I passed some hikers on the way up and said that they had seen a snake. So I'm walking very carefully, keep my eyes peeled. Hopefully I spot it. I have found a little lizard on that rock called a tartar lizard because they wave as a signal to other lizards. It was time to hike our way out of the gorge and take in our last Central Australian sunset. And while there were many other species we would have loved to see in the wild out here, we were so lucky to find what we did. This place is so vast, such a wide open space of amazing habitat. And to think that we may be lucky enough to find an animal, be in the right place at the right time. Fingers crossed. You never know. You've got to look.
Crossing.
Crossing the fingers worked for Jacques as he found this beautiful little jeweled gecko, a dragon hiding in the spinifex, and to cap it all off, this spiny-tailed gecko with some wild eyes. But finding that little thorny devil as a family was definitely the highlight. What an amazing family adventure to create some memories together in such a special place and soak up the magic of this ancient landscape. But now it was time for us to head back to Uluru for one last family photo before we fly home to Victoria.
You're in a movie.
What are we doing this morning, Jacques?
Tricking Dad with the thorny devil.
So what's the plan?
So we're gonna put the thorny devil right. And then Dad's gonna walk there, and then he's gonna move up, and then we'll say, "Oh, thorny! Thorny devil!" It's gonna be
All right, let's see if it works.
Thanks again for watching. If you like what we do, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any new videos coming out, and we'll see you in the next one.